Hey, Vsauce, Thrite here. What is a liminal space? Well, according to the liminal space subreddit, it's the time between the what was and the next. It's a place of transition, waiting, and not knowing. This description makes perfect sense. Or does it? Listen, I'm not here to argue the definition of liminal spaces 3 years after they've peaked in popularity. And wait, no, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. They're all wrong! Every single person out there that claims to know what a liminal space is lying! Because I'm the only person that knows that. And they ask me, they come to me and they ask me, alright, what's the definition? And I don't tell them, because they wouldn't understand. They can't understand! Okay, obviously I'm fucking around. I don't really care that much. But I do feel like, judging from the various YouTube compilations, and even the top posts on the liminal space subreddit, the feeling that most people have in mind when talking about liminal spaces, like the timeless dread or stressful melancholy, whatever you want to call it, isn't actually based on whether the thing you're looking at is transitional. I think it's closer to uncanny loneliness. It's like familiarity combined with weirdness and being alone. And that uncanny loneliness is what I'm going to be focusing on in this video. I want to use Minecraft to figure out what contributes to that feeling, and in the process, hopefully make something liminal. Part 1. Uncanniness. And nostalgia. If you look up liminal Minecraft photos, a lot of the ones you'll find will probably be from early versions of the game, and that's because nostalgia is really big for liminality. In a way, it's almost parallel to uncanniness because it implies familiarity, with the caveat that it's already been a while since you've been exposed to whatever is causing it. So while alpha Minecraft might seem pretty normal on the surface, there's a bunch of features and stuff that you probably forgot about that feels somewhat foreign when you come back to it. And all that, combined with the fact that the worlds on older versions were pretty empty, makes just normally playing on them already a pretty liminal experience. Okay, but I think we can take this a bit further by amplifying the uncanniness beyond just like, old Minecraft, whoo, hazy memories, woo! And that takes us into Part 2, Uncanniness. And design. An easy way of amplifying the liminality of something is, as you've seen already, just making it repeat for what seems like forever. But that might actually work even better in newer versions of the game, which allow you to apply shaders. By the way, shaders, whole big thing. I want to talk about them later, because they allow you to make some crazy shit. As for older versions, just weird buildings, you know, stuff that doesn't really make sense, especially when it's partially covered in fog. I think that works pretty well. About a year ago, I made a video about megalophobia in Minecraft, and some of the builds from it were surprisingly liminal, especially flat grass. And I remember pointing this out at the time, claiming that there was some sort of connection between megalophobia, liminality, and ever at the end of time, which actually makes a lot of sense with the whole uncanny loneliness definition. By the way, for those who don't know what Ever at the End of Time is, it's a project by James Leyland Kirby, who is also known as the Caretaker. It consists out of a series of 6 albums that portray the deterioration of the mind across the different stages of Alzheimer's disease. And they did this so well that they became kind of synonymous with dementia, to the point that you can just play a snippet of the first song and convey the dread of forgetting to literally millions of people. Did my game just crash? Anyway, what I'm getting at is that it would make sense that a series of albums that samples old ballroom music made to portray Alzheimer's disease feels at least vaguely related to uncanniness and loneliness. Okay, but what about megalophobia? I think there's a few reasons behind why some megalophobic things might invoke the feeling of liminality. First of all, really large things tend to make us feel small and insignificant. But I think there's more to it, and this only applies to like absurdly massive things, like picture big-ass mountains. Sometimes they're so big, they kind of feel like they're almost beyond comprehension. Like they're too big. Like there's something up with how big they are. And I feel like that aspect of just feeling like there's something you're not getting is pretty important. Now, I have a little theory regarding this. So you know how some people say that the uncanny valley is a thing because there could have been predators that imitated humans and we evolved to notice like the slightest discrepancies in human features to distinguish them from us? Okay, what if it was kind of like that with liminal spaces, but instead of predators, it was aliens kidnapping us and recreating human-like spaces to keep us unknowingly trapped, but they like didn't fully comprehend what the purpose of the human spaces they're recreating was, and as a result of that, they just feel kind of off to us, you know? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so it seems like size, especially when paired with purposeless structure, brings out some form of liminality in things, and I wanted to try incorporating it into some more builds beyond just flat grass. This was actually based on a much smaller build that I randomly made a few weeks prior. I have some cool pictures of that too. I also made this. I don't really know what the vision was, but it is pretty megalophobic, I think. Then I took a segment from that tower and just copied it around a bunch, and that turned out surprisingly well. And then I rearranged it again, this time into this massive thing. I don't really think it looks that good as a whole, but I did take a few decent screenshots of some parts of it, like this one, or maybe even this one. I have no fucking idea what I'm looking at. I'm gonna add those screenshots in post-production. I don't actually know what I haven't chosen them yet, but I'm sure I'll find some. I'm sure maybe they're shit. Maybe I don't know yet. I don't know yet, dude. I remember there being some good screenshots, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I don't like Part 3. Uncanniness in atmosphere. If nostalgia and design are the cake, then lighting and sounds are the whipped cream and cherry on top of it. Now this fucked up liminal cake can have more than 2 toppings. You can also warp the colors or add some kind of distortion, and all those ways of enhancing the atmosphere is what I'm going to be focusing on in this part. Let's start with the grain. The grain, okay? Oh, the grain. I actually have no idea why it works. It just does. My best theory is that it creates some sort of ambiguity and kind of lets your imagination subconsciously start creating maybe a narrative or story to go along with whatever you're seeing. Makes it feel more real in a way, maybe. I'm not sure though. And also this applies to like color warping and I guess just distortion and maybe blurriness as well. I think you can kind of group all these things together. If you guys have any better ideas than just like uncanniness, leave a comment. Okay, shaders. Finally. Now, I think the reason why shaders work so well is because they add this kind of surreal quality to the game. You don't normally associate Minecraft with realistic-looking water and lighting, so when you see a wonky-ass block tree casting a geometrically accurate shadow on water that has like tiny ripples and reflects shit off its surface, it might throw you off a bit. Also, if you pair a ray tracing shader, like the one I have on right now, with a hyper-realistic texture pack, you can kind of just make the game unrecognizable, which also works pretty well. This dreamlike aspect really resonates with me for some reason, so I kind of went overboard with the amount of screenshots I took, but I still want to briefly go through some of the better ones. Okay, first of all, we got a screenshot from the concrete thing you just saw, but with a different shader. This one's called Rudimentary. It's a pretty cool shader. Then we got Minecraft house underwater with shader. Okay, all of these include shaders. That's the kind of the point of this part. Then we got whatever this is, taken from behind a piece of glass that like deforms everything. That's pretty cool. It's so weird. I also found this tinted glass. Makes everything wavy. By the way, I just want to shout out all the shaders and the realistic texture pack that I've been using. This video probably wouldn't be possible without all of these, so yeah, cheers guys, thanks for making them. They're really cool. I really like shaders. And the texture pack is awesome too. Okay, yeah, back to the photos. Then we got infinite storage units. I don't, this is kind of like design, right? I wasn't sure where to put this. I don't know. It kind of works a lot better with shaders, so it kind of makes sense to put it in atmosphere. And finally, we got that one screenshot I briefly showed at the beginning of this video. I thought this build was inspired by my own build that I included at the end of the Megalophobia video. But I'm pretty sure back then, I got inspired by this artist, Brent Wong, who's done something similar, but just way better. He also painted this bridge, which... Oh wait, that's kind of funny. I built that too. I'm copying him. I also made this bridge, which, I mean... And then I made a third bridge, which was big, just a big bridge. I don't. This was actually the first build I made for this video, so that's pretty cool. That's a fun fact. I don't know why you would care. I'm recording this at midnight. I have dreams where nothing exists. Which is a great segue to the out-of-time aspect of liminal spaces. See, a lot of liminal images invoke this mostly subconscious feeling in me that there's nothing else besides whatever I'm looking at. And this is especially prevalent in liminal space images. See what I just did there? Yeah, dude. God damn. No, but seriously, I feel like there's something to it. Look at this photo of the surface of Mars. What about this image from the surface of an asteroid? What? Where? Oh shit, sorry, I thought someone said steroid. All my bodybuilder fans will relate. Anyway, I tried recreating that kind of like outer spacey vibe in the game. This kind of reminds me of this game Lunacraft, which was basically just a Minecraft clone, but you were on the moon and you also had a gun, and for good reason, because there were these like scary fucking monsters walking around the place. I remember playing it like over 10 years ago. It was probably one of the first times I consciously experienced that uncanny loneliness that comes with liminal spaces. In the end, I want to circle back to this. This video, even though it's titled Minecraft Liminality, isn't really about liminal spaces, just that feeling, that uncanny loneliness that accompanies them, which I feel like has far outgrown the term liminal. That feeling is also probably pretty subjective, so I really hope this isn't just like one long schizophrenic ramble that no one else can relate to. Although that would be pretty funny. Regardless, it was pretty fun to make, and I hope you had at least some fun watching it. And yeah, this is the end. I'm gonna end the video right here. There's not gonna be anything after this. There's not gonna be like a sudden cut. What the hell was that guy's problem? Alright, dude. Yeah, I'm not scared of a little skeleton jump scare. Yeah, dude, whatever.